Yes, we're back at it, back in the house
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
to the Rick and Sone experience.
Because it's what's wacky to us on a Sunday.
So today's topic is
The Dave Chapelle special, the closer, recap / breakdown. You know how Rick and Sone get down, so you know it's going down.
It's breaking. A lot of people in their feelings.
Too many people in their
All
feelings.
in their feelings. Over
Young
Dave.
and old.
It's crazy. All in their feelings over Dave Chapelle. And I watched this show because, I was seeing all the comments online and the backlash. They want the show withdrawn from Netflix because Dave Chapelle must have hurt somebody's feelings. And I'm like, he did the same thing in the last show.
Basically.
And then he just doubled down in this show. This is his feelings. This is how he feels like. And he actually broke it down real eloquent. Like what it is. Like he really broke it down. He really got in there. He explained. He went into people he knew that was a transgender. How was his friend?
Personal experiences,
Exactly.
Basically. Where he was coming from and his humor was based on his experiences.
Exactly. It was like his person. He had a friend named Daphne. She was trans. They met, years ago. He actually let her open up for him. Gave her a big shot. And she bombed. She bombed, and he still he still brung him back.
Yeah,
and
kept in touch and everything.
Kept in touch, and they was really good friends. And the story was it took a crazy turn because after one of the shows, the gay community was coming at him, and she actually went against the tribe and was like, "You don't know this man, blah, this, that, and the third. He's a great person." Because they was friends. They gave her all the backlash, and she ended up killing herself.
And to be fair, we don't know what else she had going on in her life, but I'm sure it didn't help when your own community turns against you. And again, you're speaking from your own personal experience of actually knowing Dave Chapelle, and your whole community is like, you've betrayed us, and you're like a traitor, when it's like, but I really experienced this? Like, how are you mad at someone's real life experiences?
Because it's getting out of control with the community, alphabet community. They're, to me, like, I'm going to be honest, to me, they're becoming the racist against, if you really look at it, they're really racist against everybody else. Like, I don't know if you can really call them a racist, like, using that term, but they're like,
they're very bullyish.
They're very bullyish. Yeah. And they, and like Sone always say, they get results because they're organized. They band together, and when it's something they feel ain't going their way, they all get there. Think about it. Look at all these letters they got. That's a lot of different communities.
When it just used to be you were gay.
Gay, yeah.
Or
so
bisexual. It was one or the other.
I don't even know if they used to hang together back in the day, like the trannies, and again, I don't know. Like, I really don't know nothing about that community. But now, for that one cause, like to bring somebody down, they all get down. They all get down together and come at your neck. And I think.
And the thing is, they don't relent. They never. They stay with the foot on you until they get their desired result. They don't compromise. They don't let up. That's why they don't compromise and they don't let up. If you throw them a few crumbs, they'll be like, "We don't want your effing crumbs. You're gonna do X, Y, and Z." And consequently, they've basically gotten everything that they want. They are mainstream in TV. They are mainstream in music.
Yeah.
They're
bullying their way into everything.
But you can't expect.
You have to include them,
and that's fine. And being all inclusive, but don't think that you're not going to get any pushback from other people. Like Dave said,
people getting tired of that shit.
Well, yeah, it's a perfect thing because we've said this for years ourselves and didn't have a platform. Caitlyn Jenner wins Woman of the Year. and had only been, fully trans for 1 year, and she wins Woman of the Year. And like Dave said, never had a period, never went through, birthing a child, never went through...
it's a slap in the face.
It's a slap in the face.
To all women.
It is. And this is why I said the same thing with the beauty pageant, where the trans woman won beauty pageant. When you have these girls who have been practicing and waiting for the big day, and pageantry becomes their life, and then the first year the trans person is allowed in, they beat everyone and win it's a slap in the face. I don't care. And it's like I said, you're not going to deny me what I know as a woman, being a woman, that I can't say, nah, you don't get to get all the glory when you don't know what it's like to be a woman. You think you know what it's like to be a woman, but you don't know.
Yeah, and it's like vice versa. It's like as a man, like somebody used to be on GQ, because I think they even had like some tranny or whatever.
Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated, GQ. They've been everywhere. It's been everywhere. They they think they're breaking ground. You're disrupting the everyday. It's like being a terrorist. Like the definition of terrorist is disrupting everyday life. So I'm like feeling like that now. It's disrupting everything. Like you watch a movie, you watch a television show, all of a sudden here it comes, 2 men kissing, 2 women kissing, a bunch of stuff that just turns you off. You disrupting my life. You disrupting the show. But yeah, I choose not to watch the show. I immediately stop watching certain shows when that happens, because that's my choice. I'm not gonna go and whine about it, but I definitely don't watch or support that show anymore, or shows when I see it. So basically it's going everywhere. So I'll be listening to music soon, because I'll probably stop watching television altogether, because it doesn't really bother me anyway. I love music more anyway. But in that same token, man, we can't allow ourselves to be bullied by this one community that feel like they have all the power and get all the results, when there's more serious causes out there that don't get nowhere near the result. Like I was telling Sone earlier, I was like, this is crazy. Dave Chapelle made a contrast between the baby and what happened, what he said, and what he did. Actually, what he did, like when they said he killed somebody in Walmart, he didn't get canceled, but he said something and y'all want to cancel him. And I understand the contrast. Some people was like, oh, he said, but I definitely agree. Just like all through music, you can say the N-word all day long, and you can literally be on a song that's going to get played on the radio over and over. Baby comments wasn't getting played in rotation on the radio over and over. But these songs, you literally could get on there and use the N-word over and over and over. And that's a word that's synonymous with slavery and everything. You can get on the radio and you can get on a record and you could talk about killing someone all over and over and over and over, and you won't get canceled.
You talk about prostituting yourself, essentially, and you won't get canceled. You can say F your kids and you won't get canceled. Yeah. But let you say something about, well, not even say something about, let you say something that in an opinion is deemed offensive, then all of a sudden it's all bad. It's okay for black people to be the only race of people on the planet that sing about, rap about, and entertain about their literal demise. And no other genre of music does it, and it's acceptable. But let someone have a genuine opinion based on their real life experience, and suddenly it's a problem. That's not okay either. And again, you're getting to this being a problem because basically the media said it's a problem. And the media says it's a problem because the gay community comes together to say, you're not going to disparage us or what we deem disparaging, even though, again, he was coming from a place of his own personal experiences. Hello? The Twilight Zone be going all the way wacky with this shit. It really does. Like, I had a very good debate going on my own personal Facebook page about this very topic because Dave said, quote, "Our culture has accepted 2 huge lies. The first is that if you disagree with someone's lifestyle, you must fear or hate them. The second is that you have to love someone, is that to love someone means you agree with everything they believe, say, or do. Both are nonsense. You don't have to compromise convictions to be compassionate. Unquote. Hence, like he said in the show, empathy goes both ways.
Yeah.
You can't be mad at someone who may have been ignorant to a subject, and then when you educate them, and then still be like, no, they're still canceled, even though they may not have known better, or perhaps, in a case like maybe the baby did know better, and he wanted to stir up some controversy, and he did exactly that. His followers are up. He is booking shows again. He's on he's doing collabs again. This didn't hurt his career. And I had the debate on my page where someone was like, oh, Dave pointing out that he killed someone is going to make everyone unfollow him. And I was like, where have you been? What rock you been under?
Exactly.
You don't know that rappers get all the street cred from the BS they do in these streets?
Because they get it promoted, too.
Exactly.
They get promoted on that platform of, I'm the baddest MF out. And it makes you feel, makes the other people in the streets feel a sense of closeness and a connection to you when there's really no connection there. But like what Dave Chapelle said, empathy goes both ways. Like, you want people to feel a certain way for you, you gotta feel a certain way for other people. You can't just, like, you taking these people out here trying to take people's livelihood away, send these people back, like really ruin them and put pressure. And the only reason people are appeasing to this group, like the Black National Coalition wants the show removed from Netflix. I don't even know who that is, honestly.
And I'm tagged them in all sorts of posts that you don't speak for these black people over here.
You don't speak for me, and where you at? Because things is going on in the hood. Where you at? Where you at? You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit back behind the desk and wait for an opportunity to voice your opinion on something like this. Like, come on something that's on television. But like, what does more damage? Television, music, what? Like, what is it? What is it? Like, because there's a lot of damage being done out here with the media, from the media to the radio to the television. Like, so we gotta get it together. And like, one thing Sone was telling me earlier, she's like, we at a point now, we're getting told how to feel and what to feel. Your emotions is actually getting controlled by media and by, one thing about, you got to know marketing. Marketing, to be a top marketing, is that you got to have a psych major or a psych minor to be in marketing, because they study how you think and what nerves to strike. So you got to understand how all of this stuff plays a part. And I know a lot of you, this is over a lot of your head, like when I'm saying this about the marketing. You got to understand this, because this stuff that's going on that you know nothing about, that's controlling you. So you got, people like, they're woke, but they're too woke. They're too woke to the point to really see what's really happening. You only reacting to certain things. Yeah. You only reacting when you're told to. So that's not going to get you the result. And just by saying, hey, I'm woke. You know what being woke is? Being woke is akin to information versus knowledge. You can have a lot of information, but haven't experienced anything and use none of that information. So it's not knowledge. It's just stuff stored in your head, taking up space, and you're using none of it. So you gotta, so now you think you know all of this stuff, and then you'll try to fight and debate with somebody that has knowledge of a subject, that actually been through it, used your information that you got in your head and put it and got some type of result, whether it was good or bad. So that he has firsthand knowledge of how this stuff works. And you're gonna come in here and say, this is what social media does. It gives you all this information. You got all these people with no knowledge. So they're arguing with people with knowledge of this stuff they're talking about. Like Dave Chapelle.
You tell no lies.
Like Dave Chapelle. He was speaking knowledge from a point of his interaction with a transgender friend.
On top of that, the young man I was debating with earlier today, he was gay, and I get where he was coming from on a certain thing. But the other thing was, I had to point out to him, and he wound up coming to my side in the end of all of our debates. This was a 2-day debate Today, he actually wound up coming